about chemistry and psychology within these characters, since they complete each other in many ways. But can you talk about how that began and how it's evolved from your point of view?
He used the word psychology, so that's your department,
and
doctor. That's all science. I'm more the tough crime stuff.
Well, you know, if you look back, I mean, and I really believe this, it all comes down to just casting the right way from the very beginning. And the moment we met, we didn't know each other before the show started, and we read together. I felt it. I felt really comfortable, and I felt like we were both present and there, and like we were funny together. We understood each other's humor, and I think if that translates onto film, then we're really lucky, because you just cannot, regardless of how good the script is or how well written or anything, it does not matter if people do not have that chemistry.
I know what you're doing.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Misery loves company.
You know, I think it's evolved a lot through the years, because the characters weren't like so close in the very beginning, and they have grown to know each other more and go through more through the season. So now it's really fun. I mean, I have such a great time working with Ange, because she's such a very present actor, and she's there, and if it's not working, she's not going to do it. So we just kind of play around and come up with things to do. And so I think all that stuff really helps, and it helps it be organic.
Laura, I hate seeing you so sad. And whatever you're feeling, it's okay to feel it, all right? Just say it. I think one of the beautiful things that happened, you know, when we read together was that you could tell that Sasha had girlfriends in her real life. You know, I mean, because some of them I don't think did. But you could tell that, you know, Sasha had good friends. She knew what it was like to be a girlfriend. She knew what it was like to support her friends, and that is an intricate part to both of these characters. I totally agree that they've grown together, they've come together, they've learned to really, really love each other and support each other and care for each other over, you know, the 4 years that they've been together as characters.
Okay. I did want a fruit basket.
Yes.
I did, and it should have had Downju pears and a nice Prosecco and gourmet chocolates and spa stuff.
So pick up the phone and tell her.
I can't.
I think what we have in real life, you know, does translate into what's written. And if you don't have that, it's very difficult to fake. It can be done, but it's incredibly difficult. And, you know, I think the relationship that Sasha and I have off camera is wonderful, and it in itself has grown as well over the 4 years. So, you know,
and it helps that I find her to be one of the funniest people on the planet. So truly, the fact you can laugh at work and then
you
can
have
roll.
to be able to laugh.
The other day, we were shooting something, and I started the scene with my back to her, and she had to, you know, enter the scene and go, Maura, I really need to know I need to have that evidence on the thing. But we were laughing about something silly, and she was goofing off and dancing. I mean, she dances, she gets loud, she does her thing, and all of a sudden she turned into it and went, Maura, I need to know what that is. The minute they yelled action, and I just started laughing because it was so she could just turn into it, and it was hysterical. I mean, and to have that off camera, I think really helps things always, because you're hilarious.
Okay, look, it is okay for you to want a relationship with your mom. I mean, you'd be even weirder than you are if you didn't want to know your biological mother.
You know, Maura definitely lives a lot in her brain, and you know, and it's hard to recite a lot of that medical terminology and to sort of live in this bubble, this science bubble, if you will, the brain of a scientist and a doctor, and it can be very disconnecting. So Angie does a phenomenal job, you know, playing Jane, because sometimes she has to listen to the things I'm saying, and it does sort of, you know, fall on deaf ears. Nobody knows what I'm talking about. And so I have to keep a straight face, and I got to stay in my zone, and she's got to stay in her zone. So there is this funny kind of dynamic that it isn't easy to create, and yet it always works, because we almost have to exist in our own thing.
Okay, so now I am a whiny, weird pain in the ass.
I'm trying to be patient.
It must be very hard for you.
It is.
And now we've gotten it down. We know the moments that I go into my headspace. But it's fun for me. I really like the humor of it. I don't know what a lot of the stuff means, and I have to Google and look things up all the time, and it can be very challenging. I like that Maura's had the opportunity to have this other darker aspect to her family life that's been unraveling over the last 4 seasons. It gives us all the opportunity to play something different and not the sort of, make a joke and, whatever, that same note.
Or just be like the talking heads over the body. That's always exciting.
Yeah. So it's fun. I mean, I feel like there's been a lot of colors that we both get to play, which is unusual. Normally, on a crime drama, you kind of like do the same thing. We don't have that probably.